Bam bam. So you've wanted to become the top 1% for a while, but you have no clue where to start, how to begin, what they do to achieve it. So we're going to start by how to become better every day. As you know, I'm Jake Bogatsky, faithful young man, CEO of obviously my channel. But we're going to move on straight into it. We're not going to waste no time. Why is the 1% so important? Why only 1%? Why only 1%? Why don't you do 2? Why don't you do 3? And the simple answer to that is you're not going to be able to do 3%, 4% consistently, and you're going to drain yourself. Let's say on Monday you do like 2 gym sessions, you read double the pages, you meditate double the time. You're going to burn out so much faster than just keeping it the same, keeping consistent, determined, disciplined. If you start changing it up, do more one day, do less another, you're going to struggle because you'll make a massive difference when you're not being consistent. Consistency, I'd argue, is probably the most important thing you will go through. There's a bit of maths behind it. You have like the simple maths, which is like 1% every 3.65 days, which equals 86.87 hours, equates to you being 100% better every year, which that expectation is unreal. You can't improve in a year by, I want to say, by 100%. You probably could, but I want to say that 1% every 4 days might be very impossible. It's very unrealistic, especially when you're a beginner. Once you start hitting like the 10k marks, probably the higher margins where you can actually start investing money, you can start risking a little bit more. Instead of just building and building and building the foundation, you eventually will be able to increase by these 1%, by these massive margins out of nowhere. The number 1 symbolizes the start, the beginning, and an unlimited amount of possibilities to come. Yes, like I said already, you can improve by 2%, some days maybe even 3%, but you will only be able to do that once you stuck up the 1%. Like I said, you have to be consistent, and once you hit those massive margins, hit those big differences in your life, you will be able to improve massively. Or even at the very start. When you start hitting gym, you'll see massive progress, but eventually you realize that you cannot keep that up. You will never be capable of achieving 3% to 2% constantly. Like I said, it's impossible, it's unrealistic. Small wins are what create the big wins. I always go by the saying, failure is the best place to win, because you can't go lower than failure. Failure is where you win. You fail, can't go lower than failure. You can't go lower than losing. So the only way from there is up. You just pick yourself back up, you get going again. But really, if you want to get mathematical and really work out in a sense of 1% better every day, if you get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Which, again, very unrealistic. You'll be consistent throughout a year and improve 1% every day. So the maths behind it is, if you're 100%, if you're 1, let's say you're 1 right now, 1% of 1 is 0.01. Add on to the 1, it's 1.01. Then 1% of that the next day, and so on and so on and so on till the end of the year, which you end up at a very high percentage. Which again, very unrealistic unless you are a madman and you go absolutely ham, whack it out, and you stick by it. But as a beginner, I want to say it's very unrealistic to achieve such great standards, such high, possibilities. Me, you're probably asking, why do I know so much about this? Why am I trying to teach you? Why am I trying to educate you when me, myself, I haven't made it? I'm teaching you based off what I have been through, my experience. I think that's all I can realistically teach you, and what others have taught me and what I've seen is correct. So you're probably the type of person to study people like Iman Gadzhi, Hamza, people like Andrew Tate, and you just want to make it in life. But realistically, some of the stuff, amazing what they say. But if you actually go through the stuff, go through what they say, some, as you can guess, probably don't work as well as they say they do. But obviously, people are different. Everyone is different. So maybe I just respond to it differently than they do, which is why, you know, why I don't like it and they did. But me, what do I do? Right now, I haven't achieved much. If I'm honest, I'm on target to a 5k month, but apart from that, not much. I'm just starting to grind pretty much like you, maybe just a few steps ahead, a few fails ahead. I have failed many times, but like I said, the only place to go from failure is to win. And every time I fail, I come back stronger. And I promise you, when you fail, that's the most important time to pick yourself back up. Because when you don't, you lose all that motivation, that momentum, that discipline, and you have to reset. And I promise you don't want that reset. Because when you reset, it's done. And you just don't want to finish. You want to keep going and keep going and keep your momentum. It's what really gets you going. Purpose. So when it comes to how to achieve the 1%, you need to know your purpose. You need to find out, and you may ask me how. Some people, it could be as simple as just knowing what they want. For some people, it might be just their goals. For some people, it might be who they want to be, who you're doing it for. Do you do enough? Can you do more? What stopped you before? It's simple questions that we can all write down. At the end of the day, if your goals have changed, you're going to have to change your system. But for example, I want money. I want wealth. I want to buy my parents a house. Each. They can have 3 each if they really want to. I want to buy them a car. I want to buy myself wealth. I want to live happily. I want to live by God. I want to live eternally through God. I have a lot of goals in life. I'm very ambitious. I believe that if you're not ambitious, you're not going to get it. If you don't have a goal, you're not going to get it. You need to target something. Whether that's assets, knowledge, or even peace. Whatever you need or require is what you should set in your mind, write it down, and work out a system for it. Because otherwise you're never going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. These videos are to help you as much as they are to help me. I am doing this for free. I am doing this to help you guys. I'm trying to do this to grow as a person, understand myself more, understand other people's journeys. I'm hoping that I can attract more followers and hopefully gain some knowledge from you guys as well as myself. So, like I said, thank you for watching. And make sure to check out my other videos, because I promise you it's not a waste of time. Every video you watch, you'll learn something new, whether that's actually gaining some information or listening to someone else's experience, which is my experience. And I promise you this is not a waste of time. You just have to make sure you're noting stuff down that you find important, because your brain will never remember everything you take down.